In 2007, it was estimated that the cost to society of drug abuse was $193 billion, according to the National Drug Intelligence Center. But could the current approach to helping addicts be all wrong? I want you to look at this story.
The addiction to heroin, so powerful it leaves its abusers destroying themselves and, in many instances, breaking the law. But is such criminal behavior a choice or an uncontrollable disease? That's the case with this woman, Julie Eldred, and the outcome could change drug laws forever. Eldred would steal repeatedly to get heroin and was sentenced to stay sober as part of her probation. But less than a week into court-mandated medical treatment, she tested positive for the opioid fentanyl and was thrown in jail for 10 days. Her attorney says it's nearly impossible and unconstitutional to require someone to be cured within days via incarceration. But others argue jail may be the only way to hit rock bottom and save an addict's life. Should drug users be punished by the law, or are they truly impaired with their self-control taken away?
You know, it's an important conversation to have. Mary, I want to start with you. If you're an addict on probation, should you be jailed for a failed drug test?
Yes. Depends, though. Is it the first failed drug test? Is it the second? And let me start by just saying this. Probation is a privilege. There's no constitutional guarantee that you get probation. It's a deterrent. So when the judge is saying, I'm going to give you a break, I'm going to put you on probation, because the statute says you could be punished by a certain number of term of years, or maybe a year. But the judge is saying, I'm going to put you on probation as a deterrent to try to help you. But you have to follow these conditions. When you violate probation, you're violating a condition of the probation that relates back to the crime that you originally committed. So you're not being punished for being an abuser of drugs or an addict. That's something you have no control over. You're being punished because you couldn't follow the rules that were keeping you out of jail.
So, Darryl, you were sent to jail for violating probation while at a recovery center, right?
Yes, multiple times.
So I'm curious, since you've been through this and come out the other side of it, what's your perspective?
Well, multiple times I did violate probation, and it's the behavior of an addict. You know, it's really not the drugs, it's the behavior, and it's the behavior that has to be changed, and that comes over a period of time. You know, once an addict or alcoholic grow up and take responsibility. Of course, you need to be locked up because the fact is you could eventually kill someone driving. And, you know, I was in a situation like that under the influence and driving, and you could end up hurting someone else.
Or killing yourself.
Or killing yourself. But and jail's not a bad thing. It stops the bleeding on you right there for that particular time. It doesn't do anything for the long term, because you have to go through the treatment and you have to go through a long process of working on yourself. And when we can understand what drug addiction is, people need to be educated about it. It's about brokenness. People are broken inside. There's something that's happened to someone inside, some trauma or something that has affected a person, and they pick up a drink, they pick up a drug, and eventually that allows them to escape so they no longer have to feel. And addicts have to learn how to deal with their pain without using anything, and that's a process.
So what you're saying, in your case, finally, it did take a couple times. It was the wake-up call that you said, hey, I don't want to be in and out of jail.
Well, I think a lot of people look at celebrities and they think you shouldn't have drug problems because you make millions of dollars. You know, no one wants to tell you have a problem because you're successful, you got money, and you shouldn't have a problem. You shouldn't be using drugs. Well, we're just as crazy as anybody else.
So for you, I mean, well, your concept of, for you personally, jail stopped the bleeding, but others have a different perspective on this. I want to bring into the conversation Alexis Haynes, who, after gaining popularity on her reality show Pretty Wild, had a very public struggle with heroin. With her is her former criminal defense attorney, Mike Nassatir. Because, Alexis, you say that people on probation shouldn't be put in jail for failing a drug test. Why do you say that?
Well, the question that I would ask everyone is, does the criminalization of addiction work? The answer that I see very clearly is no, because if the war on drugs and criminalizing addiction worked, then we wouldn't have nearly 500,000 people in our prison and jail system right now for drug-related charges. I don't think that it is the answer. I was very lucky, however. I was allowed to have alternative sentencing, which was the opportunity that did help to save my life.